Families in Rudloe, Wiltshire have been left to live in mouldy and damp social housing after plans to replace their flats with new high-quality accommodation were revoked.
Liam Halligan has this very special report with On the Money.
It's raining in Rudloe, about 10 miles from Bath.
Hey Gina, how are you? Nice to see you.
Gina Baker's a young mum of 3, living in a home provided by Green Square Accord, a not-for-profit housing association. While she pays subsidised rent, Gina's desperate, because her home, in her view, is unfit for human habitation. Her housing association landlord agrees. 2 years ago, Gina was served with an eviction notice. The entire estate she lives on deemed substandard, due to be demolished. Since then, she and her children have lived with asbestos in her walls, serious rising damp, and extensive mould.
So, the mould at the moment, obviously it's been really, really bad. It has been really black mould. It has been cleaned. I have to keep cleaning it.
Count the letters. 1.
There's a strong smell of mould in Gina's home despite her cleaning regularly. 2 of her kids have developed asthma, including baby Esme, recently sent to A&E due to serious respiratory problems. Gina says her kids live in condemned housing because, in her view, Green Square Accord is greedy and neglectful.
As far as I'm concerned, as long as they've got their money, that's what they care about. Because they're very quick that if you were to not pay your rent, they're very quick to say you've had a missed payment.
He's about a month old.
Gina's neighbour Tonya is another devoted mum, raising kids in a damp flat. Her cramped home was also set to be demolished 2 years ago, with Green Square Accord due to rehouse her. It hasn't happened.
So I got diagnosed with MS about 4 years ago, which is quite a struggle. It has its health problems, as in the cold, the temperature affects my MS, the stress affects my MS. My son is 5 years old. He's autistic. He has already said to me that he hates his bedroom because it smells damp and it's cold and it just isn't a pleasant place for him, which is sad because that should be a safe place for him.
Tonya also regularly scrapes and cleans mould from her walls and curtains, but it keeps coming back, especially at this time of year.
I'd love them to knock them down like they should have done in the first place. I don't think there's any amount of mould wash, any amount of fixing that they can do because the problem is still there. They don't put a demolition order on a property for no reason.
The leader of Wiltshire Council, which includes Rudloe, is furious at how Green Square Accord is treating its tenants.
I think the housing that up at Rudloe is appalling, yes. If you look at, I mean, it's relatively old housing. It's clearly not being maintained particularly well. It's getting towards the end of life. It really needs pulling down and rebuilding, but that's no excuse for not maintaining it.
Green Square Accord were unavailable for interview, but told us, "Last year we made the difficult decision not to proceed with our regeneration plan in Rudloe. The health and well-being of our customers is our top priority, and we take reports of damp and mould very seriously. The asbestos in the homes at Rudloe doesn't pose a risk to the health of the customers living there. This, according to Green Square Accord, is, quotes, a small amount of damp and mould." Gina and Tonya profoundly disagree. Liam Halligan, GB News, Rudloe in Wiltshire.
Well, it's just not acceptable, that amount of...
No, those pictures are pretty shocking, actually. You don't want to be breathing that in.
Certainly not. No, huge health implications as well as life implications. Well, a written article plus Green Square Accord's full statement regarding this is available to read now on the GB News website, gbnews.com.